friends, I am Naresh Joshi, and in this video we are going to discuss why comparing two integer objects of value 127 returns true when we compare those objects with double equal to operator. So we know in Java there are two types of variables, primitive types and reference types. Primitive types stores their value directly as bit representation, while the reference types stores the reference of the actual objects, and the actual objects get created into heap. So all reference types instead of holding the object directly holds the reference of the object, not the actual object. And when we perform a double equal to operator on primitive type, the actual value get compared. But when we perform double equal to operation on reference types, the actual reference get compared. So if two reference variables are holding the same object of same reference value, they will return true when performed double equal to operation. Otherwise, even if two reference types have the same value but the objects are different, double equal to operator will return false. So as we can see here, we are creating a int primitive variable a of value 128 and int primitive of b of value 128. When we perform double equal to on these two, we get a value true. Okay, but and same if we create two integer objects of value 128, so like a obj and b obj, and we perform double equal to operation on both of these objects, we get a value false, because those two are actually different objects with same value. So a obj have a different reference address and b obj have a different reference address, so both objects are different. That's why double equal to operator returns false. And when we compare those two using the equals method, then we get a value of true, because equals method actually compares the value inside the object. But what happens if we do the same with the value 127? So like we create a x obj of value 127 and integer y obj of value 127. If this time if we perform double equal to operation on both, we get a value true. So why this discrepancy? So here with value 127 we get a value true, but with value 128 we get a value false. So this is related to integer caching functionality. So creating a integer object like this is equal to creating a integer object like this. So this is a concept called auto boxing, and integer compiler by default creates this portion of code for us, so we do not have to write. So writing this line is equal to writing integer dot value of 127. So if we go inside the value of method, we can see that it is doing something here. So like if the value of I is greater than integer cache dot low and less than integer cache dot high, then instead of creating a new integer objects, it returns the object from the integer cache. Okay, and otherwise it creates a new integer objects. So like if we go into this low and high variables, we can see that low value is minus 128 and high value by default is 127. We can also override this value by using this JVM variable. We can define our limit over the maximum capacity. So what integer class does is, integer class creates a cache of integer objects between the value of minus 127 and minus 128 and 127. And each time when we try to create an integer object using integer.valueOf or using auto boxing, integer class do not create such separate object. Instead, it returns the same object from the cache. So like for the value of 127, it in x obj is holding the object which the same object y obj is also holding, and that's why when we compare those two using double equal to operator, we get a value true. I hope that is helpful. I have also written one blog about this, which you can read here. I'm going to mention the link of this blog in the description section, and also code related to this video is already committed to GitHub. I will be sharing the GitHub link as well. Thank you.